What do you do if you come across a book that you're interested in? Do you read through the reviews and decide whether you're going to purchase a copy? Perhaps you read through some of the look inside if it's on a platform like Amazon where you can look inside and you can read a little bit. It gives you a sample quite often. Sometimes it gives an opportunity for you to listen to a little bit of audio. Do you make use of that kind of material that's readily available and then perhaps consider, I'd like to read the book, or no, it's not quite what I want? Or do you just jump on to contacting the author and asking some intriguing questions? Well, I received another email with a question related to a book of mine, and the email didn't say which of my books it was referring to, so I'm going to use my book, Healing Your Life Through Activity, to answer the question that was posed. And forgive me, whoever sent that email to me, if I get the wording a little bit wrong, but basically the email was saying, once your readers have completed reading the book and they close the book, what then? I think is kind of the question that was posed. I presume they mean, what kind of impact would the book have made? What kind of message are you wanting to leave or to impart to your readers? And when it comes to my book, Healing Your Life Through Activity, I haven't had any readers contact me directly and say, this is what my final takeaway was. Actually, I take that back, because there were a few people who put up a review and sent me an email and said they didn't realize that occupational therapy was about all the details that I share in the book. But aside from those few people who've left a review, and I'm very grateful for those few reviews that I do have up, anybody else reading the book, you're welcome to leave a review as well, and I hope it'll be a positive one. I hope that the book will have made a positive impact. But since I haven't had people emailing me and saying, I've read through the whole of your book, I've completed reading it, and this is my takeaway, I can't really give too much answer. I could recommend that if you read the few approbations that are in the front of the book and you read the reviews, that you will get an idea as to what some people felt about the book. But in this video, I thought I'd take a slight twist, a slight spin on the whole concept of what happens when you close the book and you've completed it, and then what? Well, for me, it was a fascinating experience. I thought that I'd write this book and then I'd have it out there to help to promote what occupational therapy is. And from there, I'd start doing perhaps some talks, perhaps some workshops. From there, perhaps I would get to be able to have referrals, appropriate referrals, because my book shares so much about the profession that I was hoping I would have appropriate referrals and be able to build up my private practice, and from my private practice get to have the center that I had in mind. And I wasn't expecting quite a huge change, but a change is what happened, because as I listened to certain comments that came in, not from people who were my readers, but certain relatives or certain other people who were, whether they were jealous or whatever their reasons were for as few negative comments that came through as to why I'd written a book, I found something inside of me started to change, and a part of me started to think, well, through my work experience, I had the experience of working with clients from the beginning of life through to the end of life, and I was able to use that experience to write a book to illustrate and to explain to others that occupational therapy does cover the full life cycle. But the intriguing thing is that as I completed writing the book, I suddenly realized this wasn't what I wanted to be doing. So to a certain extent, writing that book also helped to open the door to my doing other books. And I have a list of books that I have in mind: low content, medium content, some workbooks, some journals, some coloring in books, which are not written, but they're coloring and they're books, and some high content books, all of which I hope to be creating. But aside from that, something inside of me started to realize, as I was starting to work on doing my sketching and drawing for preparing for one particular workbook that I wanted to illustrate, I started to realize how much I really wanted to be an artist. And so for me, the completing of that book was the opportunity to put that story aside, although I do have other books in mind to be writing and to get to share that knowledge to be able to help others. And one of the reasons for that, I'm sorry if it's a little bit of a selfish reason, but is to help to create some passive income to enable me to focus on developing my skills so that I can get to be the artist that I really always wanted to be. And so I don't know that that's exactly what people were expecting to hear, but for me, completing that book was almost like closing a chapter and putting that aside and opening the door to what I really always wanted. I have a lot of work to do to get to be the artist that I really want to be. I also have some more fun books that I have in mind to be drawing, to be writing, to be creating. Time will tell how many of those books I get to complete and how much of my art I get to progress in. And I hope this video is, I've been reluctant to share, but I was asked what happens when somebody closes the book. So that's what's happened for me. If you have any other questions related to my book, Healing Your Life Through Activity, or you have questions about any of the other books that are up, or the other books that I'm in the process of creating, be in touch and I'll do what I can to answer the question or to create a picture, a book. Not easy to know necessarily which direction of creativity will be sparked by a question, but thank you for asking, and I look forward to chatting in another video. Ciao for now.